Hi, Gillian Perkins from Get Living, Raw Foods and Wellness Coaching. So today I'm actually doing something very interesting. I'm going to talk to you about banana blossoms. And you don't see them very often unless you live in Asia or you live in Central America where they grow bananas. But we do find them here at our Asian grocery stores, and I love experimenting. So one day I saw this beautiful blossom and I thought, whoa, that's interesting. And I brought it home and tried different things and researched and came up with this really amazing recipe that I actually served at one of my dinner parties. It was rather fun. So I'm going to show you how to make it. And tonight I'm actually going out for a dinner party. And so I'm going to be making these banana blossoms. And then also, if you keep watching the videos, I am going to be making mushroom satay. And I'm going to show you how they've asked us to take hors d'oeuvres. So I thought I'd make a chicory board and put a few of these items on there. So I want to get started. This already done the banana blossom. Actually, I cheated. The very first time I did the banana blossoms, I did it myself. So what you do, it's a beautiful large blossom like this. It's a green blossom, and you have to take out all the outer leaves, the harder leaves, and you get to more the tender leaves. And every layer of leaf has the stamen. You'll see it. It's a small, very tender stamen, and so you have to take it out. And I just discard it because you'll see there's some really like spiny looking things in there. So I just discard it, and then I'll take all my leaves. So you have to take all the leaves off and discard the stamen. And so then what I'd like to do is I grab all my leaves and then I slice, long ways, and I get these curls. But I cheated this time, and I had it, usually you'll find at the Chinese markets that they have it already done for you. So much easier, and not that much more money either. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of oil. Now, usually I don't do oil, but for this one, I'm going to be doing oil because I prefer to use water. I usually just put water in my base and heat that up, and then saute my onions and my ginger and my garlic that I'm going to be putting in this. But for the sake of this video, for people who do use oil, I am adding oil. So there's an option, right, that you can do. I do use my extra virgin olive oil. It is well-sourced olive oil. I get it from Greece, and it's a very good olive oil. And olive oil can withstand a little bit of heat. It has a higher burning point. And so it's not a bad oil. Grapeseed oil is probably a better oil to use, but I'm going to keep the heat at a lower temperature as we work with our banana leaves. Oh, so something that you do need to know, this actually has been soaked in salt and a squeeze of lemon juice. And I actually soaked it overnight just because it's easier. So I soaked for about 2 hours. Then I rinsed it under hot water, squashing it while it's going under hot water, drained the water off, filled it again, and did the same thing. Fill it with salt and I'm talking about half a teaspoon of salt and a big half a lemon juice in that. And I just soaked it overnight because they are bitter. So you want to take out the bitterness, and then of course it helps to break down the fibers. Now this is not a raw dish because it's cooked. We did try this raw and I wasn't very successful. But I love winning people over to plant-based food. People think that eating plant-based food is so boring. So when I'm going out to different events, I will find more creative ways to make food. So I'm going to turn the power on. It's actually interesting because I actually don't use a lot of heating sources because most of my food I like to eat in its raw state. And I do have a whole teaching actually on why plant-based foods, why predominantly eating more raw heals you. So I'm going to add my onions, or you could add shallots. Shallots are nice because they're smaller and more tender. And I'm going to add ginger that I've just chopped. You can julienne it or chop it. I like to chop it because when I'm working with people who aren't used to flavors, then I want to be careful with what I'm doing with the longer strips of ginger, and my garlic as well. You could crush the garlic, up to you. I kind of like it. So I'm just going to be stirring this. So I just want to make sure that the onions are translucent. Just a couple minutes. Then I'm going to add in my banana leaves. This will just simmer for a few minutes until the banana leaves start to change color a little bit. And you'll see this will reduce in size as well. Okay, now we're going to add some tamari. Tamari is a fermented soy that does not have, that's more in a natural state. Fermented soy is actually really good for us. I'm adding just a little bit of salt. This is my Himalayan salt that I prefer to use, or you could use a good Celtic salt. Just be careful of the salt. Make sure you look for the right salt. My chipotle chili in a Boda sauce. You could use any type of chili you like, you prefer, if you like it hotter. And chipotle chili is not as hot. And then I have my organic coconut milk that I add. I'm going to let this is going to simmer on low for probably about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. We'll come back to it and you'll see, unfortunately you won't be able to taste it, but you'll see how delicious it actually looks. This is the end of the banana leaf. So I'm going to take, you can see how much this has boiled down. I'm going to add it to this nice dish. And it smells absolutely fantastic. Now for garnish, you could use some nice, beautiful red peppers on here, chili red peppers. I'm going to probably sprinkle, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to sprinkle it probably with some cilantro. Now, this is Gillian from Get Living Raw Foods and Wellness Coach.